What's cooking, everyone? Today we're making Zha Jiang Mian, a delicious, savory, refreshing noodle dish good for the soul. There are most famously two types of Zha Jiang Mian, the Chinese style and the Korean style. Well, the way we're gonna make it today is strictly the best way to make Zha Jiang Mian, the Baobei way. Roll the intro.
せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと
We're gonna take this step by step, starting with the toppings. First, we got the eggs, cucumber, and some bean sprouts. And we're gonna do the grueling task of peeling the tails off each bean sprout. This is worth it to make them pretty and neat. And then we're gonna blanch these for a couple of minutes in some water with salt and oil. Just real quickly so they still maintain that crunchy texture. Strain them. And these are done. Next step. Time to make some egg noodles. Not my favorite topping, but really fun to make. Start by beating your eggs well, then we're gonna make some cornstarch slurry. Mix that up, and then mix it together. We'll also be adding a pinch of white salt and pepper to give it a touch of flavor. Mix, mix, mix. And make sure you mix this pretty well so the color is even all around. Then to a flat pan, rub some oil. We're gonna drop in a super thin layer of egg on a low heat. Just swirl it around to make sure it's even. And cook this very briefly. Carefully flip it over and finish off the other side. That's what we're looking for. Stack them on top of each other, roll them, and chop them into beautiful thin strips of egg noodles. Then to the cucumber. Cut thin diagonal sheets. Flatten them out. Cut into strips. I like them quite thin, but you can cut them thicker if you want. That's just beautiful. Toppings are done. And now to prep and test your knife skills. Dice some mushrooms by cutting sheets, strips, and dice. Dry spice tofu, same technique, although I like cutting into sheets horizontally first. And now for the onions. Chop downwards, sideways, and dice. Shallots, just give this a nice chopping. Scallions, split the first half of them, then dice. Garlic, smack, then mince. And finally, the pork belly, which sadly, the skin is too rough for this dish, so we're gonna take that off first. Make sure your knife is sharpened for this pork. And again, using that same dicing technique, we're gonna cut into sheets, then strips, and dice. For simplicity, you can use ground pork, but that's just a coward move. Bam, just like that. Chopping done. And now for our sauce. This soybean has a delicious fermented flavor, but also optional. These two are the most critical and will give it that distinct bean paste flavor. Hoisin Sauce adds a really nice touch of sweet flavor, so we're gonna add a little bit of that as well. And now we're gonna combine these ingredients and get them ready for the stove. And of course, you can always add more while you're cooking depending on what you think you're missing. Cooking is all about adjusting when needed. Yummy yummy. Let's do this. Throw in the pork belly to start over a high heat to make sure that all the fat is rendered. Cook this for a couple of minutes till you get this color, then throw in the shallots. And fry these for a little bit to bring out that amazing flavor. Make sure you're constantly moving this pot around to avoid burning. Then the garlic and onions, and do the same. Once all the fragrance comes out, you can throw in the tofu and mushrooms. Another few minutes of cooking, then in with the sauces. Add a touch of sugar and white pepper as well. And just mix all that in evenly and you can see that beautiful color start to form. Once that's all well combined, pour in some water. A good amount of it as well, almost to the top of our mixture. Give that all a good mixing. Then, we're gonna cover this and just let this simmer on a low heat to absorb all of the flavor. And you can see just how much the water has been reduced. That remaining water will give it the saucy consistency that we need. Now finish it off with our scallions, and a good touch of sesame oil to just boost that fragrance up. Be sure to give it a taste test and add anything you may need. Smells incredible, looks incredible, it's done. That's just mouth-watering right there. Now we're gonna quickly cook some Baobei homemade noodles in some water with lots of salt and oil. Definitely go watch my noodle recipe if you haven't already. And now, just enjoy the assembly. Homemade noodles and our gourmet Zha Jiang Mian. Itadakimasu. First of all, homemade noodles really make the world of a difference. And you really get a unique bean sauce flavor that you know exactly what you're eating right when it touches your tongue. Salty, savory, with a slight sweetness to it as well. And the pork belly, man oh man, increases the richness of this dish 10 levels. Honestly, just by itself with the noodles and the sauce is already so good. But of course, it can be a little bit heavy, so that's why we got these gorgeous cucumbers right here. That is just a much needed refreshment. Our beautiful egg noodles, and let's just go everything in one bite. I hope you guys enjoy this video and start taking your dishes to a whole different ball bay level. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with your family and friends, and chop that like button. Thanks for watching.
ふわふわるふわふわり